Rahim. We've just come to Zul Khalifa, the Miqat from Medina, where we'll do our ihram and continue our journey to Mecca. When you get here, there is two car parks. One is on the north where we've parked, and there's one on the south as well. So just remember which car park you've parked on. So when you enter, it's a very beautiful place. As you can see in front of us, it's a very nice area to sit down on. They've made it very easy as well. There is wudu, as soon as you come in, there is wudu facilities for men and ladies. So you've got men there, wudu and shower facilities, and immediately on the left of that you've got where the masjid is, where you could go and pray. And just further down, what you can see is where the ladies will do the wudu, and opposite that is where they do the prayer as well. Now, there are four miqats which have been mentioned in the hadith, narrated by Hazrat Abdullah bin Abbas, that the Messenger of Allah had fixed Zul Hulayfa as the miqat for people of Medina, and Al-Juhfa for the people of Sham, and Qar al-Manzil for the people of Najd, and Yalamlam for the people coming from the direction of Yemen. So the ones which I've mentioned are the miqat for all those in the different places, depending on which direction you're coming from, for both hajj and umrah. Okay, so if you're coming from outside the miqat boundaries, then you need to make sure that you get your ihram and make the intention before you pass the boundaries. Okay, now there is a fifth miqat, which was fixed at the time of Umar bin al-Khattab, after the towns of Basra and Kufa were captured, and then the people of those areas going past these two areas, they came to Umar ibn al-Khattab and said to him that it's very difficult for them to get to the miqat now. So then what he said was that take the place opposite, opposite to Qar, on your usual way. So he fixed that Irq as the miqat for those people come from that direction. Now just quickly to go through your areas. So Dhul Hulayfa is for those coming from Medina, so that's where we're coming from today. So it's roughly about 18 kilometers from Masjid al-Nabawi and about 400 kilometers from Mecca. So if you're coming from Medina, then this is where you will do Miqat, Zul Hulayfa. And the shower facility, everything I spoke to you about, this is all Zul Hulayfa, because this is where I am today. And then another place is Al-Juhfa, also known as Rabigh. So Al-Juhfa is located, it's roughly about 182 kilometers northwest of Mecca. So people who come from looking to do umrah or hajj, traveling from North America, Europe, Turkey, Syria, Egypt, Algeria, Sudan, and some other African countries as well from that direction. So this will be, Al-Juhfa will be your miqat. So you need to make sure, so normally you'll probably be on the plane at that time, so you need to just make sure you do your ihram before you pass that boundary. Then you've got another one which I mentioned was Qar al-Manzil, also known as Al-Sail. Okay, so it's got a couple of different names. So this is the miqat for the people of Najd. Okay, and those also coming from beyond the Najd point. So people come from United Arab Emirates side, Oman, Pakistan, Australia, Malaysia, Singapore. Yeah, so just some of the areas I mentioned. It's not restricted to those, limited to those areas, but anyone coming from that direction. Then, because Qarn was also replaced, or another one was put in his place, so Qarn you still could do it from there, but that Irq which was another miqat done, as I mentioned earlier, by Umar ibn al-Khattab, so this will be similar. It's about 90 kilometers northeast of Mecca. So this is also miqat for people intending to perform hajj and umrah, so from Iraq, Iran, China, Russia, so those areas. Another one for people coming from the direction of Yemen is Yalamlam. So this is for Miqat for people of coming from that direction, countries such as South Africa, Nigeria, etc. Okay, so these are the Miqat which I mentioned earlier. I then want to mention the area of hill. So this is an area in between Miqat and the boundaries of Haram. So if you're within these areas and you're looking to come Umrah or Hajj, then what you would do is you will do your ihram from your home. Okay, you will do your ihram from your home. So this includes towns like Jeddah, Hulais, Al Janoun, and Tamim, and these are all situated within the hills, within the hill. So before you get to Haram, you must do your ihram. Okay. And so if someone is coming from within the hill area, but they don't have intention to do umrah or hajj, then they may come in without ihram. But once they come in and they do decide to do umrah, then what they need to do is go back to the boundaries of Haram, and from there they will make the intention and do the ihram, and then come within the Haram and do the umrah and hajj. Now, Haram is a sacred place where you shouldn't damage any plants or trees, or you shouldn't harm or any grazing animals. You shouldn't be fighting or anything. You should be calm in that area. And if any kind of violation is carried out and you do kill or do anything for no reason, then dam or sadaqah is required depending on what you have done. Right? So now the boundaries of Haram. So this is, for example, if someone has already come into Makkah, they've done an umrah and so on, they've come out of ihram, and then all of a sudden they wish to do another umrah, they don't need to come back to the Miqat. What they need to do is come back to the boundaries of Haram. And there is a few that we do, you could come to. So one of the most popular one is Masjid Aisha. It's roughly about 8 kilometers from the Kaaba and roughly about 3 kilometers from the boundaries of Makkah. Another place is on the road to Yemen. It's called Adat Lebanon. It's about 11 kilometers away from Makkah. Then you've got Wadi Nakhla on the road to Iraq. It's about 11 kilometers away from Makkah. Then also Arafat on the road to Taif, close to Masjid al-Imara. So Masjid al-Imara, part of it is in Haram and part of it is outside. So you need to make sure that you are, outside the boundaries of Haram. Okay, and you've got another place is Jirana. There's a masjid there known as Masjid al-Jirana. It's located about 14 kilometers away from Makkah. Another place is Hudaybiyah, and there's also a masjid known as Masjid Hudaybiyah there as well, and that's on the road to Jeddah. It's roughly about 16 kilometers away from Makkah. So if, as I mentioned before, if you have done an umrah already and you've completed your umrah and you've come out of your haram after shaving your head, or qasr, whichever one you intend to do, and then you wish to do another umrah, then you will need to come to one of these places, do your ihram again, and then go back into Haram and perform your umrah or hajj. I hope that is informative. Jazakallah khair. Assalamu alaikum.